back for games 4 and possibly 5 of the competitive EDH Reddit tournament.
We are indeed.
It's Lurker here. I've got Sugan Daraja and Simon from the Labmans with me here today to cast this this final game, or possibly 2 games. If you weren't here for the first 3, each of Play for Zero Mana, Neosloth, and Leptis have all won 1 game, while IMOC sits at 0. It is first to 2, so yeah.
Yes, and an important reminder for our audience, these games could potentially go on forever, as long as IMOC manages to arrange a looping World Gorger each game.
Oh. All right. So, if you don't recall, the 4 decks that we have playing here today are IMOC on Thrasios Timna, Neosloth on, oh god, I'm trying to do this all from memory.
Teferi. He's on
Teferi, Leptis on the Gitrog monster, and Play for Zero Mana on
Telepathy Control.
Yeah, Telepathy Control with
Thrasios.
yes, with also Thrasios Timna. I was trying to make sure that I had that right.
Yes, that is correct.
So yeah, Thrasios Vile Smasher, Thrasios Timna, Mono Blue, and of course the Gitrog monster. And looking from those last 3 games, who do you guys like as the favorite for finishing this pod off?
Like is a rough one because I've played Frog a lot, so I'm kind of hoping for that deck to get there. But pretty much all the decks have proven themselves to be extremely competitive decks.
Oh, I mean that's for sure. I just personally, as far as those last few games played out, I felt like the one who was on average in the best position the most often was Neosloth. I like Teferi's position in this pod overall.
I'm with you on that one. I'm going to root for Teferi most likely. I feel like Neo probably has one of the stronger situations in the game here.
Yeah, no, and just as far as the way that the pod keeps playing out, Play for Zero Mana continues to have a lot of good interaction to deal with IMOC and Leptis, who are trying to win quickly and through straightforward lines, whereas it kind of is usually Neo who plays cards that Play for Zero Mana doesn't want to counterspell as often and actually gets to advance his own game state while also holding up the counter magic himself. So I kind of like Teferi's position in this pod, but of course it is still EDH and anything can happen.
Indeed, that's why we're first to 2.
And it seems pretty much everybody is ready to go. This game should be underway momentarily.
Yes, indeed. We're just waiting for Play for Zero Mana.
How's the audio doing? Anybody in chat want to let us know if it's actually functioning well? Can you hear everybody?
Indeed, can you hear us?
Hopefully. Oh, and our game has started.
Perfect.
Simon, you're looking at chat, right?
Yeah, apparently audio is a bit low,
A bit low. I can turn that up.
but Tenra says it's a-okay. So
All right, I'm going to turn it up a tiny bit. At least I can turn you guys up. I'm not gonna fuck with my own volume because I'm just worried that it will be too loud. But,
so Imok has been practicing his rolling skills. He rolled a 19.
oh
so,
my, I'm on.
Yeah,
Indeed, strong start.
Always great. EDH is just, I mean, not EDH. Multiplayer Magic is a game where going first is actually just so much different than going last. There are just a lot of plays that you really cannot do, and a lot of hands you can't keep going last compared to first.
Even some really good hands can not be anywhere near as impressive as they come later on. Like
Oh
turn
yeah, for
one,
sure.
Mana Crypt into Turnisphere. If you're on the first play, that almost seals the game for you. If you're
Yeah.
last, it's still strong, but
Yeah.
you're not in the same situation.
Yeah, as a stacks player, this is one of the biggest things is going last feels real bad. And
I mean,
Because you want your stacks pieces coming in ahead of their plays, basically.
yeah. So it seems that Imok will be going first, followed by Leptis, Neo, and then play for 0 mana.
Yes, indeed.
So that's fairly unfortunate for play for 0 mana because Neo is the one who has the highest chance of playing a stacks piece.
Yep.
But it also may, his turn position makes keeping a hand like that slightly worse. I mean, it's not game breaking or anything, but it is.
Yeah. And
It
honestly,
hurts to not be able to go first or second.
in a game like this, I'm not surprised to see everybody keep 7 cards. It's really this is the cutthroat here. Everybody's 1 game away from winning, and 3 people are 1 game away from winning. So everybody's really worried about those, going too low and not having a viable start. But maybe everybody just got great hands. Imok leads off with the Trop Island and Elves of Deep Shadow to pass the turn.
Yes, indeed. And yes, for these decks here, really, Neo's the only one who's running any stacks, unless you count something like a reanimated Jin Gitaxias coming from Imok as a sort of stacks piece. It's not really, it's just sort of massive.
That's the finish.
I mean, that's more of a Jin Gitaxias in my opinion.
It's got the Jin Gitaxias vibe.
There's I've recently been considering like whether or not reanimate fatties is worth it in my 4-color list, and Jin Gitaxias is really, I'm coming to realize, the only one that's actually really worth the turn 1 Dark Ritual reanimate, Entomb reanimate. Pretty much everything else just doesn't cut the card disadvantage you do. Sire of Insanity is cute,
it's also
but
kind of a secondary affect of the deck, because like you want to have some reanimation for the Buried Alive lands. So they're kind of in there as a little bit of extras, but there's not a heavy focus on it. Most Tip to Tantalus I've seen maximum 3-4 reanimation targets.
Yeah. Well, I cut down to 1. So back to the game. A Swamp comes down for Gitrog and a Deathrite Shaman. Neosloth keeping 7 hands. None of them are a turn 1, or 7 cards. None of them are a turn 1 play. Interesting.
Yes, indeed. You got that open blue there. You might be expecting something a little bit too scary to handle.
Did he even mulligan at all? Did anybody mulligan at all?
Not that I saw.
Yeah, I don't.
Never mind. Yeah, Neo mullied.
Neo mulligan. Okay.
Yep. He went to 7 again.
Went to his second 7.
And we've got a telepathy.
Oh my!
Oh.
Well, this makes casting
No response
so
from,
much
Teferi.
easier. This makes our job
Yes.
It
wonderful.
does. Say what you like for telepathy,
Thank
but
you,
it's
play
great
for
theater.
0 mana there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ooh.
Play for 0 mana. All right. So Imok. I'll wait until everything's down. Oh my! Neosloth's hand.
Should we do it in priority?
Yeah, I'll do it in priority order. So first off, we've got Imok sitting with Abrupt Decay, Steam Vents, Notion Thief, Nature's Claim, Swan Song, Devoted Druid. Oh, that's a great hand. He's got 4 pieces of interaction, one of which is Notion Thief, which is a wonderful, uh, great late game, mid game stacks piece. Nature's Claim and Swan Song. So really, all he can't deal with is creatures, but Abrupt Decay covers that, and a Devoted Druid, more ramp. I like Imok's hand quite a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's
How's
a
the
very
Devoted
reactive
Druid
hand.
with his combo though? He needs Does he play Phantasmagorian?
Devoted Druid, you can just play, and then you can
Of
activate
course.
its untap ability twice to just kill it automatically, so
Yeah.
it doesn't actually matter. And a Gitaxian Probe coming out on play for 0 mana on no one, just to draw a card. Just, a cycle. It's not bad. Telepathy, of course, being the card your opponents play with their hands revealed. That's I completely skipped over that one. Uh, that's a silly card. Going to Leptis's hand now. We've got Polluted Mire, City of Traders, Scourge Familiar, Darkmoor Salvage, Soul Ring, and a Mana Vault. Wow, Leptis has a blazing fast hand as
Yep,
well.
he has all the elements he needs to win in that hand.
He's got the
That's
Darkmoor. He's got a Scourge Familiar, which is the discard outlet. It's actually the best one because it produces mana, but it is also the costliest. And then he's got Acceleration for Gitrog. Looks good.
It's worth noting that it's got higher CMC than what Abrupt Decay can destroy as well, which
Oh,
is fairly relevant.
no, that's
Yeah.
actually super relevant because Imok does
Yeah.
not actually have a way to interact with that Scourge Familiar or the Gitrog monster whatsoever.
No one does.
Yeah, wow. And quickly going over to Neosloth finally, we've got 2 snow-covered islands, an Overburden. Whenever a player puts a creature card into play, they return a land they control to their hand. Tezzeret the Seeker, who I'll go over last. Thirst for Knowledge, draw 3, discard an artifact. Stasis, and Static Orb. So I can understand why he kept this, honestly. It makes some sense. You're going to turn 2, Static Orb and Stasis up. Possible turn 2 Overburden. But unfortunately, I found that Overburden kind of ends up being a thing that helps your opponents more than hurts them sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's also important to remember that a lot of these deck lists are what these pilots were playing 3 months ago, not what they're playing today.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, I happen to know in their current list, both Neosloth and Lobster have ended up cutting Overburden for much that reason.
So City of Traitors.
Oh, sorry. Imok, of
Yeah.
course, just plays the Steam Vents and passes, which he forgot to take 2 damage from. And he's just kind of sitting, holding up all the removal. Everybody knows he's got it. Thoughts on whether or not you play the Devoted Druid there?
Nah, he can't use the ability right away. He probably wants to keep that up. And he probably also wants to keep up Abrupt Decay if he can.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because there's a strong probability that Neosloth is going to put in some sort of stacks piece next turn.
Yeah.
The question is, do you want to do that with Gitrog on play in the situation he currently is in?
Well,
I mean,
in terms of plays against Gitrog, Imok's best one is an Ocean Thief because it shuts off the combo. But
Yeah,
that's
of course.
take a while to get to.
Well, so that's why I kind of asked, do you just play the Devoted Druid? And unfortunately, playing the Devoted Druid because he has a Trop Island means that he can't hold up Claim, but he can still hold up Swan Song if he plays it with the Elves of Deep Shadow. I don't know, just a thought. Leptis, seeing no lands in any graveyard, is unable to use his Death Right at the moment, but he is able to play City of Traders into double mana rocks. He's got a shit ton of mana, and if I think that if he didn't know about the Swan Song Abrupt Decay in Imok's hand. Actually, those don't even really stop him. I think that he might just end up trying to go for it turn 3 either way.
So
Although-
Neo's pondering.
Although it is actually, wait, I just realized that Leptis doesn't have any access to green, which is
Yeah.
why he didn't
No,
play his
I was
Elvish
thinking
Mystic
that.
last turn.
So nobody should fetch, really.
Yeah. Yeah, fetch land right now is actually enabling Gitrog to win. Teferi will just ponder it up. Just thinking about his top 3.
So if you were in Neo's shoes now, what would you be hoping to see off the top? He's already got the stacks piece if he wants it. He can choose. No,
I mean,
never mind.
a Soul Ring or a Mana Vault. Mana Vault would be pretty great here
Yeah.
because Mana Vault means you get to just slam the static orb. Something like that could be pretty helpful. What stasis parity breakers does... I guess Tezzeret the Seeker is a stasis parity breaker. That would work. So he's got the win. He just needs the mana to actually get there, which he does not have whatsoever. So he's looking for some mana. All right, he's going to take the shuffle and draw into...
He's fetching a tutor. Or drawing a tutor.
Drawing into a mystical tutor. That's not a terrible draw. He will play a snow-covered island, which I'm going to ask if he can...
Yeah, I'm asking him to move his hands a bit over, so it's a lot less confusing.
Yeah, that's you beat me to it. Alrighty.
So, like another valid point is that the if fetching happens, then Imok could destroy the Deathrite, Abrupt Decay it.
Yeah.
So that there is that. Yeah.
All right, and play for 0 mana is just gonna slam a Thrasios. That's not a very intimidating play. He
Nope.
But he also can see the rest of the board, and he knows that nobody else is really going to go off next turn. At least that's what he can hope. Imok can... Imok is going to do something on turn. He's going to Frantic Search, I'm sure. Yep. Imok frantically searches. We actually get to see what he draws, which is quite nice. He draws a Soul Ring and a Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize. That's
that's spicy.
Telepathy makes Thoughtseize better.
Well, so telepathy does make Thoughtseize better, but Thoughtseize also, I mean,
lets you see play for 0 mana.
Lets you see the fourth hand, which is really, that's the invaluable information. You're getting in on play for 0 mana's gig right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's playing telepathy and saying, I get to see everybody else's hand. And you're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. That's not a bad draw. So he does just discard the Devoted Druid very quickly. He knows that he doesn't want this game. He discards the Notion Thief as well. I'm not quite sure if I would. But all of the rest of the cards in his hand are kind of better, and they're all interactions. So,
in what I feel is going to be a very interactive game.
Yeah. So the question is, does he Nature's Claim? No. The answer is no. He does not Nature's Claim the Mana Vault.
No. Why would he Nature's Claim the Mon? Oh no. Yeah. No man. The Vault. My bad.
Yep. The Mana Vault. Just it's something that you could do. You could also Nature's Claim the Telepathy, I guess. But at this point, you have the Thoughtseize, and it doesn't actually hurt you that much.
Yeah.
Drawing into a Consecrated Sphinx. I'm sure he's upset that that wasn't a card he drew in the Frantic Search. He's just going to cast his own Soul Ring.
Really should decay left this here.
Oh, I'm still here, guys, by the way, but my cockatrice crashed, so I've been just trying to get back on.
No problem.
Yeah, he
I was
went.
wondering where you went. All right, he's just gonna play the Soul Ring, and he's going to say, "I know what you got. Show me what you got." So the polluted mire will get discarded from the cycling, putting the Deathrite Shaman online, drawing into a Golgari Grave Troll. That's a pretty good draw.
That's
Isn't
a
it?
pretty good draw, because now he's going to dredge, and then he might get green mana, but
Oh wait,
telepathy is...
but how does he
Nope.
even discard? Oh, he can just play the Scourge Familiar and discard the
Yeah.
Golgari Grave Troll, can't he? Wow.
But he just drew a mana confluence.
Yes, but do you even play it with your city out?
Yeah. I'm fairly sure he has it.
Through the Swan Song? Yeah, I think he might. The Abrupt Decay is up actually. But does the Abrupt Decay stop enough? No, the Abrupt Decay doesn't stop the mana. So
No.
1,
Yeah,
2,
tries to abrupt
3,
decay something,
4,
just tap
5.
it.
5 mana gets him Scourge Familiar. Scourge Familiar discards Grave Troll, Elvish Mystic. That's 2. Mana Vault is 3, and then that's 4. That's enough for the Gitrog monster. However,
win
if
right
he
here.
casts the Gitrog monster first, does he still have enough?
No, because he needs to generate more mana. Oh, I guess he didn't see the line.
I guess he didn't see the line.
Yeah, because there is definitely a win there.
Yeah.
Assuming nothing from play for 0 mana. Which, no?
Imok attempts to Swan Song a creature.
Yeah, that is not good. It's okay. I've tried to Flusterstorm enchantment so many times.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always forget that's not Swan Song.
All right. Well, the Gitrog monster lands. Oh my! Wait, he gets to play 2 lands now, though. He does still have enough. Oh, but Darkmoor comes in tapped. He does not still have enough.
No, because it's land for turn.
Yeah, and then he has to draw into a second land. Oh, he has 1 colorless floating because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes,
he still has it.
He still has it. All right, never mind. We're sorry for doubting you,
he has
Leptis. He still had it. He
Well,
saw a
looks
different
like-
line than us.
It looks like we won't be staying up late.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe this is resolving really quickly.
This might just be the game, folks. Leptis attempting to win the game and become our current 2017 May competitive EDH champion. Yeah.
I feel sorry for Neo.
Yeah,
That's probably why he didn't abrupt Kate. Because he was
that-
thinking, nah, I have a counter.
That opening hand from Neo was pretty disappointing. I honestly think that if I was Neo, I would have played Stasis last turn because that would have just stopped everyone for 1 turn, and then it gives you an extra draw step.
Yeah, but if you're expecting the abrupt decay to hit the death rights,
yeah, that's also
then-
true.
like with the telepathy out, I don't think I would do that.
They've all gone quiet. I wonder what kind of discussions are happening in the voice chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if it's Imok asking if he can go back to the upkeep to abrupt decay the Deathrite Shaman.
I don't think that would be fair.
I
at
don't
this
think
point.
that's. I mean, we are playing in a
don't-
tournament.
Yeah, I don't think that I would let that go. Personally,
Yeah, that is not okay.
And seeing as I'm the only... Or yeah, that would be me being the TO right now. So no, I would not let that happen.
Yep.
Um,
Trying not to lose turn 2. Yep. I wouldn't want to be in before Garen has Forceful. Play for 0 mana.
There's always a chance. The game the other night looked like Neo had it on that third game, but we'll see.
Thinking about it, I would definitely not play the Stasis because you see the Abrupt Decay and you think he's going to deal with it because or else we lose. Confluence put into play.
Yep, which will sack the City of Traders. Now that the Gitrog monster is out, that's perfectly fine because you get to draw a card. Which he does, and it's a
Indeed he
Sylvan
does.
Library. Doesn't really affect anything because he's just going to slam out this Scourge Familiar and find out whether or not his opponents.
Yes, let's see. Is there that force from Play for 0 mana?
And no force. The resolves.
Those car horns are very appropriate at this moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my background. And the Gitrog Scourged Loop.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
it, boys. So for those of you who don't understand what's about to go on, Gitrog says whenever a land goes to graveyard, you can draw a card. Darkmoor says whenever you draw a card, you can put this in your hand and mill 2 instead. Scourge Familiar says discard a card, add mana to your pool. So that just means you get to mill your whole deck, gain infinite mana, because you've got a Kozilek in that deck, and it's going to flip into shuffling the deck up again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You get infinite mana, and then you can kind of do whatever you want, because you're also drawing cards this whole time as the your lands hit the graveyard from being milled.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So play for 0 mana shows us a greedy Thrasios play when he has the Cyclonic Rift and the Swords to Plowshares in hand.
Yeah, he had multiple
He
answers to this turn.
He had both of the answers to this turn. That so there's the Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, that we just talked about, which will shuffle his graveyard back into his library whenever it goes to the graveyard, keeping his deck looping around. And the Slippery Crest and Barren Moors will draw up his deck for him whenever he cycles into them. And I'm not sure what Leptis is putting into play. Oh, this is his top cards, I see. Oh, his Kozilek is his top.
He might be using Praetor's Grasp as his win condition. Because
that would also
he can
work.
endlessly cast and loop cards at the moment. So he can Praetor's Grasp his opponent's entire libraries.
Yep. And
GG, boys.
That's GG, boys. Yeah. Wow. Quick and dirty.
That was a quick game.
Yeah. Well, so that is really the power of a deck that's so greedy that it gets to run City of Traders, a card that most competitive EDH decks really can't run. And in addition to drawing a Soul Ring and a Mana Crypt early, and having this was kind of the god hand, really.
Yeah.
A turn 3, just Scourge Familiar, Darkmoor Salvage, both in hand. He's got all the mana to cast it. That was kind of disgusting, honestly.
Yeah.
This was a turn 2 win, I think, if he had gotten slightly luckier. If like a land had been in
Everything's
the
a turn 2
graveyard.
win if you get slightly luckier.
No, but I'm saying if there was a land in the graveyard already, then he would have
Yep.
gotten to play the Elvish Mystic and. Oh no, that's still a turn 3 win. I'm wrong, but wow, good game. That's it.
So Leptis brings. Would you like to invite us for some post-game, post-tourney debriefing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And if you'd, would you like to check your PMs, Loka?
Sure, if they would like to.
I mean, they'll all be
Yeah.
in voice. So.
All right, so let's go join them. I guess that's the easiest thing to do.
You need.
Did you? But I didn't want to say anything because, like I said before, that I'd rather stay quiet because I don't know your deck. So.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Congrats, Leptis, for the quick turn 3 win.
Yeah, congratulations on that game.
Yeah, that went pretty much faster than the last time we played these final games.
Oh yeah, no, we were expecting another grueling few hours for sure.
Yeah, I was like, my hands were sweaty when I started this, and yeah, now I'm ended so fast. So which is kind of anticlimactic, so to speak, because we had so many like tense games.
Oh, I mean,
past
yeah, I totally understand.
rounds.
It's honestly too bad. If we had known that this game would have been so quick, we could have just played it last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have actually not been as quick last week because, like, I don't know, we just played poorly. Like I just got home and I don't feel like I was in the right mindset. Like, Leptis did great, and I was punished for bad plays. Like, I definitely could have done stuff.
Imok no longer gets to wear the title of always lucky, never punished, I suppose.
It wasn't even like, I literally just did bad plays.
I
Yeah,
guess there
so,
was the Notion Thief possibility.
Yeah, so we were considering the Notion Thief possibility, but we understood why you discarded it. It was the worst card in your hand, so to speak, at that time. Drawing into the Sea Sphinx was really unfortunate, and then we were kind of wondering whether or not you were going to abrupt decay the Deathrite Shaman, or Nature's Claim, the Mana Vault, actually the turn before when you had a green up. But we weren't sure how threatened you were exactly.
It was like, I knew Neo couldn't do anything, but like, I was like, I don't know why Frog, like, I wasn't sure why the telepathy player tapped out there. And,
I mean, I am.
and if the way I was looking at it is like, if I used both abrupt and claim, like, I would have been in like a pretty bad comparable position.
Could again just Thoughtseize the Scourge.
Yeah, I could have done that too. Like, there were lines of play that like I just didn't act on. Like, I just wasn't prepared for the game, and I was punished for it.
Yeah. Well, so we assumed that the Thrasios tapping out was him trying to force you to answer the board, which I guess is kind of the power of telepathy in a game like this, where he knows that you have a line. But we weren't in the voice chat. What was the voice chat like as he tapped out for Thrasios and ended his turn? Was anybody trying to?
Well, I mean, I don't actually have any outs. I have a Pact of Negation, which I can use, but then I lose on my next upkeep, so it doesn't matter.
You do have an out. If you hadn't tapped out, you would have just ate the frog.
Yeah,
that is true.
The Swords to
But I saw your
Plowshares.
answer, so I was like, hey, I'll just drop the Thrasios and let you deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the line that I had the the cycling land that gave me the green mana, I needed to cast Gitrog there. That was like the killing blow, and also I was lucky enough to draw into a land.
Leptis,
that
we actually also saw another line, which would have been just casting the Scourge Familiar first, and then...
Yeah, I would have probably... I was thinking about it when I was passing the turn, but like the Scourge Familiar is, with the fast mana I had available, it was way safer in my hand for the time being, because I thought it was... I still, even with the God hand that I got, I still thought that the game would, with the interaction that these guys usually pack, that it would take a lot longer, and I didn't want to do it right there. But it would have been an optimal play, yeah, I guess. So,
I mean, it should have taken longer. Feels really bad.
yeah.
Well, so would you guys want to play another game just for fun?
No, I can't. Like, I'm actually crushed. Like, pretty bad.
Mentally crushed.
Understandable.
I'm up
This is a hard loss. So,
Yeah, especially with the hype of the couple days,
yes.
and then other problems that I might have spurred up.
For sure. All right, me and Aiden and Simon here are gonna go close out the stream, and we'll be back to chat afterwards.
No
All
problem.
right, I'm because I won.
Oh, great game.
Wow.
That was exciting. I
Yeah.
liked it because, I mean, to be honest, while slow grindy games do happen in EDH, there are also fast combo games. So we had kind of a wide representation of different types of EDH games going on in the finals of the tourney.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should discuss the relevance of telepathy in the game, because that's...
I mean, yeah, telepathy was this whole game, really.
Yeah.
So much for going last and having no impact, right? Turn one, play for 0 mana here, gets to slam out a telepathy and look at everyone else's hand. And so the issue with telepathy in general is that in less interactive pods, sometimes you can just play out a telepathy and the fast combo player will look at everyone else's hands and say, well, unless you have an answer, I win.
I win.
And just they get the free win from that. They don't have to, the blue player holding up 2 islands can't bluff anymore, which is powerful.
No. Rev brought up that he still had it either way if if Deathrite Shaman had been Abrupt Decayed.
Yeah.
Because he could have led with Scourge and then discarded a bunch of stuff.
Right. No, of course. I that was the line that me and you saw. At the very beginning.
That's right.
Because the mana confluence saved him either way.
Yeah.
He would have needed to Abrupt Decay and Nature's Claim, or would Nature's Claim on the vault by itself have worked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Abrupt Decay on the vault, or destroying just the vault or just the Deathrite doesn't cut him off. You need to destroy both, and that's pretty terrible.
Yeah. So that's
a lot of
fairly
pressure.
dreamy hand from Frog.
Yeah. No. Honestly, I don't think I would have even tried to do that if I was IMOC. I think that I would have tried one or the other, or possibly I'm not sure if I would have seen just Thought Seizing the Scourge away as a line, because Thought Seizing, play for 0 mana, is so tempting with a telepathy out. But I think what I would have done on my turn if I was IMOC is I would have played Thoughtseize on play for 0 mana, and then I would have looked at his hand and said, "You greedy piece of shit, we both lose."
Yep.
And that's how the game would have ended for me. So honestly, this is not really like I can't really fault IMOC that much for this loss. That's kind of hard to predict that the guy who plays telepathy is going to tap out. And from the guy playing telepathy, I can actually understand why he would tap out. without knowing the mana confluence was on top, would understand why he thought that IMOC might do a line. But
it's still extremely greedy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the only way to do that is if you're very vocal about the politics of that. If you're very vocal about them and say, look, I just tapped out, but here's the line that you can do to save us. And you spell out exactly how terrible this line is, but how necessary it is because you actually have no interaction because you tapped out. And you also have to have a silver
I still
tongue.
think the tap out was a bit too much of a bluff.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't have gained anything from Thrasios before like 2 or 3 turns down the line, and looking from other players' hands, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree.
2 pieces of serious interaction.
I think that you kind of need to hold your counterspell up there, or sorry, not your counterspell, your cyclonic rift up there, because Frog really doesn't have a way to stop your blue spells, and it doesn't have a way to stop your Swords to Plowshares. Your Swords to Plowshares on that Scourge or on that Frog is going to be perfect, and it's just going to stop him, you know?
Yep.
Okay, guys. Well, you seem to be covering the finals of the tourney pretty well, so I'm going to go off and go play.
All right. Have a good one.
Sweet.
You guys have a good night.
All right. Well, we're just going to close out the tournament coverage there. It's been fun. It was great to have you guys on. So from Lurker.
Thank you very much to Coinman and Siggy, who organized the tourney and set all of it up. I know it's been a lot of work and a lot of, there's been a few difficulties.
Yeah, no. Thank you guys so much for making all this happen. And for Aiden, who just left, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so from Simon and Lurker, it's been fun. Good games, guys, and good night.